My name is Sarah, and today I'll be coming up with an adaptation list. For this list, I'll be naming off of certain books or mangas or certain manhwas and just give my opinion as to why I think they should get an adaptation for all of us to see and enjoy. Now, as for those that have been adapted, I will not list the writing material because we've already given them a chance, and some of them came out okay, while some of them we shall not speak about. So, to start off our list, we have the Ashura series by Amelia Atwater Rhodes. Now, I will admit Amelia's books were what got me into reading in the first place, and I love her Den of Shadows series, but I think the Ashura series would do really well for, say, a streaming TV channel. Say, we got Carnival Row out there and everything on Amazon, so I think if Hulu or Amazon were able to pick this up, it would make a great TV show. Now, for the series, it takes place in a, I guess, historical, fictional fantasy world where there are shapeshifters, animal shapeshifters, and there are true royal families. Their nations have been at war for as long as they can remember. So we have Danica, who is a avian who turns into a hawk, and she wants to make peace with Zane, who is a king cobra and leader of the Serpentine people. Each book actually takes place with different characters, which shows the progression of the people. And again, there's political intrigue, there's some romance, there's a lot of shape-shifting and mythical creatures, and there is a lore that goes so deep that even it makes its way in snippets of the Den of Shadows series, which is why I like the crossover so much. And again, I just think this would make a really interesting, fascinating TV show. I still have my fingers crossed. Next up, we have the Broken Heart series by Michelle Bardsley. I cannot say this enough, but I believe that this book series really deserves a TV show. Now, it takes place in a fictional town called Broken Heart in Oklahoma, and all of a sudden, these residents just have paranormal creatures move in. Now, each book takes place with a different character in the town, and they always tie nicely in with the other characters, so we all remember who did what and who burned what, and there's a zombie down the street. Now, this would make a good TV series. For which network, who would pick it up, I don't know. If y'all have read this series, and I'm pretty sure y'all can throw a shoe in as to who would do this book series justice. I just want to see again a zombie who lost his eye, a little hell dog chihuahua slurping up a giant demon, a demon pretending to be a dragon and burning things up, and people running around with fire extinguishers, and a whole bunch of drama. That's what this series is. So again, this would make a perfect TV show. And of course, I can't forget this book series, Contagion by Erin Bowman. For those of you who've seen my book review on this book, y'all can already sum up what my opinion of this book is. It's basically World War Z in space. And of course, who better make this into a TV series than sci-fi? Again, if this was made into a TV show, I would be screaming at the people of the actors who are playing the characters, use common sense, don't do this, don't do that, why are we even in this situation? So, as you can tell, my heart would be racing so high, I'd probably be stroking out, and that's what would make it a good TV show. Again, people, it's basically World War Z in space. What is there not to love? Now, for this book, it would either do well as a live action TV show, or it would do really well as an anime. I have not seen any book to anime adaptations. If there are any, people, please let me know. But for this one, I have to nominate Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa. Now, again, for my book review, people, I can easily say this is like an Inuyasha book series in a way. It takes place in a world where there's demons or yokai, and our main characters, Yumika, who is a kitsune, and Tatsumi, who's from a clan who also wields a demonic possessed sword. They come together because there's this ancient scroll known as the Dragon Scroll, and they have to, I guess in a way, get the pieces together to make the Dragon Scroll and to get a wish, which is really bad because all these evil forces are trying to get these pieces as well. It is a major adventure, journey, fantasy series with a bunch of Japanese lore. I would have to say that we get, like, say, arcs in this book, like, you know how we get side arcs in animes that would eventually lead up to the main arc. And for those of y'all who just like anime in particular, I would have to say this is a go-to. But again, I think it would do well as a live action TV show, but it might even do better as an anime show. Again, if y'all know that there's any adaptations out there, I would like to know. And people, if y'all know me, y'all would definitely know I would put this on the list. Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Come on, people. An epic sci-fi adventure with a AI starting to gain his own thoughts. Last of Us zombie creatures. We got wormholes with evil humans, blood-sucking worms. And of course, human versus human nature. I mean, if we had a first season here, I would have brown paper bags from all of the, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, we got 2 more seasons of this. This would give me a heart attack, but I would love it so much and I would be dying for the next season. Now the books I've mentioned already, I would have to say would be great TV shows, but this book all the way would make an awesome, spectacular movie, as long as you get Guillermo del Toro to direct it. The Call by Peter O'Golan. Again, book review. Best way to describe this is, you know, Hunger Games if Guillermo del Toro directed. In this world, Ireland has been cut off by a giant fog, and for all the children between a certain age group that are still there, they get what's called the Call, where in this world 3 minutes only pass by, but they get plopped into the place called the Grey World, where these old fae of legend, the scary ones, are there, and you have to survive for 24 hours. Awesome! Including the fact that one of our main characters, Nessa, not only has to worry about being called, but she has to worry about, you know, the kids on this side, because her legs aren't really well working, so she uses crutches a bunch, and so she's trying to prove to everyone that she can survive the call. I would be screaming a lot in the movie theater. Just get the right director, and moneymaker, big time. And I can't leave this book out, people. I have to say CW would be the best fit ever for this book. Again, but better, by Christine Riccio. For those of you who don't know Christine, she is a booktuber on Poland Bananas Books, and this is her debut novel. Now this is a coming-of-age book where Shane, who is actually trying to find herself, and by doing so she decides to have a new change, and that's what makes her go to London, England, also to try to do something that she's very passionate about. She also goes on other European adventures with her roommates that she shares a room with during this study abroad, and he also made her love interest named Pilot. There are a bunch of twists and turns, especially at the end. For people who have yet to read this, I will not spoil it because I did not see this one coming, but I think CW would be a marvelous fit for this to be a TV show, and if they ever do get it, I will be watching. Now, we've listed sci-fi for, you know, Contagion and, of course, Illuminae, and that's the only sci-fi channel, is the only place where you would give sci-fi stuff to, and, you know, how can you not suggest this to Sci-Fi Channel? Karvamark by Veronica Roth. I read this book series. It's a good book series. I do tell people you should go check it out, even though some people are going to be a little iffy about the different writing that Veronica did with this book series, because one character's in point of view is first person and the other is third person, and I actually really enjoyed it. But this world is so vast that I would have to say we need novellas just to keep exploring it, and who better to do that than sci-fi? Now, our main characters, their name is Syra and Akos. They both come from the same planet but from different nations, one which is recognized by all the other nations or planets in the system, while no one really actually acknowledges the other one as a nation of itself. And because of certain prophecies / destinies, brings Akos and Syra together, and oh, let's just say there's a lot of twisty turnings and doors that shouldn't be opened slowly opening and giving us, oh my god, moments. I do not want to deal with these moments. Again, because the world is so vast and so big and there's so much detail into the cultures and the histories, I think that sci-fi, if y'all don't do Contagion or Illuminae, do Karvamark. Now, for this next book, oh Lord, I will go down to my grave harping about how this book should be turned into a movie. So, for anyone who has strings to the industry, please listen to my voice and turn this book into a movie. The Scorpio Races by Maggie Stiefvater. Yes, I am bringing this book to light. We have an island where we literally have water horses, you know, the mythical kelpies and so forth, that will happily eat the riders, but you know what? People ride them for a race. And this year, our main character named Puck, she is going to be the first girl to ever ride the Scorpio Races on her normal horse, but she is determined because she needs to win the prize money to help her family survive. While we have Sean, who is a returning champion with his own water horse. And let's just say this bond between Sean and his water horse is deep, even though he knows in his mind his horse would like to eat him. But in a way, again, the bond is so deep between man and rider, and it's just, oh, so much. All I can say is that if you make movies about Secretariat and Seabiscuit, what is so difficult about doing a movie about mythical horses that come out of the sea that have a eating tendency for human flesh, but people ride them every year for a dangerous race? Hello, can I not be any clearer? Now, am I missing any other notable candidates for adaptations? Come on, people, you know I was going to talk about this. Stars, HBO, Showtime, one of y'all, I don't care who, but you know, we have drama, we have scandal, we have murder. What isn't there to love about this book series? And for those of you who don't know, we have The Bourbon Kings by J.R. Ward. And all of these check marks focus around certain characters around the Bradford family, including Edward, who's my favorite character of all time, Lane, and Jen, who is the queen of all things, and also characters that are involved in their lives, such as Lizzie, who is Lane's interest, and other characters. I'm sorry, I can't think of your names right now. Again, Stars, HBO, Showtime, I don't care who. Turn The Bourbon Kings into a TV series. As for this book, you know History Channel would be a great fit for this book series. Or Netflix, now that I think about it, because we have Vikings on History Channel and we have The Last Kingdom on Netflix. So whoever gets the toss on the coin and comes out victorious, I will be happy either way. And the book I'm talking about is I Darken by Kiersten White. Hello! Vlad the Impaler retelling as a woman? Yeah. Even though we know what happens in history, which still made me cry at the end. Our main characters, their name is Lada, who is the girl version of Vlad, and her younger brother Radu, who is an actual real person back in history. And we followed them since the day they were born to when they are taken as, I guess you could say, political hostages in the Ottoman Empire. And we see as they grow up, along with Mehmed, who will eventually become the ruler of the Ottoman Empire, and how Lada, who follows the footsteps in the real life history of Vlad, reclaiming her country of Wallachia and eventually going up against the greatest empire the world has ever known at the time. Just imagining seeing the adventure, the battles, and all the decisions these characters have to make, and if we ever got to see it on television, I will not leave my room, especially if this is on Netflix. And if it's not, I will be huddled in my house on the night of the release of the new episodes each week. So History or Netflix, please, please, please consider. Now, last but not least, again, History Channel or Netflix, I don't care, please consider Sky and the Deep by Adrienne Young. And I would like to correct my last book review that yes, there is a sequel. Silly me for thinking that there wasn't. This book series follows by a first-person point of view, which I kind of actually did enjoy, actually. And the main character, her name is Aileen, and she comes from a certain clan that fights another clan every 5 years, I believe. And she finds out that her brother, who she thought was dead is actually alive and fighting alongside the enemy clan. Now, after getting taken hostage, both her brother Edie and Fisk, who is, I would guess, say his brother in a way because he got adopted into a family, it's up to them not only to make sure Eileen makes it through the winter, but they also find out that this enemy clan that's been working in the shadows is finally coming to light and attacking both their clan and Eileen's clan, so they must work together to stop this from happening. This world is huge and it only focuses on 2 clans. I can only imagine what else is beyond the waters or mountains or valleys. I can just like, oh my lord, the possibilities of how far this show could go. Of course, the first season would have to focus around Eileen and what she has to do to survive in this book. I can't wait to read the next book, which I'm pretty sure would make a good second season. But if they wanted just to go delve even further and they worked with the author, I can just like say, oh my god, this possibilities, the enormous possibilities this world could go, I would be on board all the way. Now, those are my book recommendations. It's time to move on to the second part of this adaptation wish list. And the best way to start this part of the list is with, boom, Solo Leveling. Yes, I'm going to be adding some online manhwa and mangas, and I would just love to start this off with Solo Leveling. Now, for those of you who don't know, Solo Leveling is a manhwa taking place in Korea. I guess you could say an alternate Korea, where gates that lead to dungeons are accessible to people that are ranked as hunters. Now, each hunter, they are given a specific rank after being tested, and they really can't move up. So we follow the character named Jinwoo, who is notoriously known as like the lowest level E-ranked hunter in all the world. Well, after surviving a near-death experience, he reawakens for the second time, and unlike other hunters that have reawakened, his level just keeps growing every time until he becomes that of an S-rank class. But we're like, how far can he go until, like, you know, being unstoppable? And the journey that he takes to becoming to S-rank to where we are now, and just like the epic boss battle arc of all time, which is freaking me out to the core, and I'm wondering, when is the next chapter going to be available? Come on. I know China is having donghwas being made, which are adaptations of their, I guess you could say, light novels. Check out The King's Avatar and Moda Sushi. But will it ever be possible if we can get like Korean animes? Because Solo Leveling is the highest, most up there contender that I would love to see. Next up, we have Who Made Me a Princess. Oh, I love this manhwa so much that I am dying for the next chapter so badly. Our main character, her name is Athanasia, but she goes by Athie. She was actually reborn into this story where she takes the role of a princess who dies. So here she is, from the day she's born to the age she is now, which I'm thinking is 14. She's just trying to do whatever it takes to survive, which is kind of difficult considering her father is literally the emperor of this world, named Claude. And let's just say he isn't very heartwarming when she first meets him. But then again, she plays her charm. And as we progress, we see this father-daughter relationship that gets so steadfast that we actually believe that Athie might be able to change her fate. That's as far as I'm going to say right now. Just check it out. It is adorable. It's going to leave you giggling, laughing, and then it's going to make you crying, sobbing, and just yelling at the computer for the next chapter. Trust me, it will. Next we have is Bloody Sweet. Now this manhwa, it is, I will admit, it can get a little deep to some levels. I've only finished the first volume. People who've read the second volume, please do not spoil anyone about this. Our main character, her name is Shin Narim. She is a daughter of a shaman, and in a way she gets bullied because of that, and she's not really good about speaking up for herself. Well, an incident leads her to a vampire who I call Vedachao. I don't know how to properly pronounce his name, sorry if I'm butchering it, but he is the most adorable little puppy ever, and because of a certain incident when they met each other, they are now bound as master and servant. Now, even though I guess you could say Vedachao is the comedic relief to Narim, you also see like the dark past and I guess you could say trials that he had to go through while growing up. Again, there are times where this gets a little deep, so people that are like, just fair warning. But if I were to see this adapted, I would be, oh my god, just have the tissues ready for both crying of hysteria or just getting ready to bawl my eyes out. Moving on to something that is definitely just gonna make you laugh no matter what, is Spy X Family. Oh, please be adapted into an anime. All I can say is this. We have a spy named Twilight who will do anything for the good of the country, even forego his own identity and taking on multiple personalities and the names and lives and whatsoever. And his biggest mission yet is to get married, have a kid, and infiltrate the school where the most influential man and possibly the worst bad guy we'll ever face have his own, I believe, grandson attend there. And so Twilight adopts a young psychic girl without even knowing by the name of Anya. And he marries a young woman named Yor, who he doesn't know is actually a hit woman. So, let's see, spy, psychic child, a hit woman, all coming together underneath the same roof without any of them knowing what everyone else does for a living, except for Anya, who is like completely all the time, especially when she's reading about what her daddy and mommy are thinking. It is, oh my god. This will have me dying of laughter each week, I guarantee, if it became a anime. And I just can't wait till it becomes manga form and hits the West so I can go and buy it at Barnes immediately. And with the world of isekai as it is, I just have to mention this name in there, and it is a long name, so you know it's an isekai manga. Okay, I got this. The vengeful white cat lounging on the Dragon King's lap. I think that's what, I think I got it right. It is, as it says it is. We follow the character named Yori, who, along with her frenemy and classmates, are summoned to another world, and she, while this kingdom just automatically pushes her aside and banishes her because they think she will cause trouble, Yuri is actually the one with the affinity to the fairies that control all of the magic, making her the most powerful person ever to exist. And because she has all this power, she must go to a kingdom, and she would rather feels comfortable going to this one, which is ruled by a dragon king. But just to be on the safe side, she obtains a magical item that allows her to be turned into a cat. So this whole world thinks this cat, this normal innocent looking kitty, is very powerful, and they know because the fairies are very psychotic and will destroy anything that makes her cry. And as the way isekai is going, well, this must become an anime. If Rimuru can get an anime of his own, Ruri should get an anime as a cute, adorable, loving little kitty cat with psychotic fairies watching her and protecting her and destroying everything that they deem unworthy towards Ruri. Winding down the list, we are left with webtoons and mangas that I actually have in paper form. And what I mean by webtoons, I mean, like, you know, from webtoons. And best contenders I like so far is Let's Play, which is very true, real, where many people can relate, and that is very, you know, heart momenty. We meet Sam, who is a game developer, and she put her game out there online for people to play, and she's been getting great reviews. And when Martial Law, a renowned gamer on YouTube, well, not in this world, it's a different tube, plays the game and he gives his reaction, well, it basically tanks Sam's game and she just spirals. And it doesn't even help considering the fact that Marshall is now her new next door neighbor at her apartments. But the thing is about this webtoon is, again, how people can automatically connect with these characters, because Sam, she's not very good about speaking up for herself. She takes, I guess you can say, the safest route in real life. She doesn't feel comfortable about dressing in grown-up clothes considering the situation where she was young and she was always in a hospital. So we also see her emotions slowly bog her every move. They actually take like forms that we the readers can see, but we also see as she starts to slowly stand up for herself, make up her own decisions, how she starts getting, like, you know, courage, friendship, and all that way. And it also works for not only Marshall, who lives underneath the stress of supplying new content out, but also with other characters that we meet who are both Sam and Marshall's friends. We see that their own trials and troubles, and I believe it can relate to so many people. And I know that they released some shorts on YouTube. That's what got me into reading this in the first place. But I think this would make a good, I guess you could say, for a starter, 12 anime episode. Either way, that's just my thought on this webtoon. Next is, again, it's comedic, but also it could be very true in a way because it also talks about bullying and stuff. And that is A Good Day to Be a Dog. For those of you who are Year of the Dogs, oh, it's our moment to shine. Sorry, Shigure. We meet Hana, who comes from a family who all the women are cursed to turn into dogs by the people who kiss them when they're normal people. So the only way how to break this curse is to have that same person that kissed them kiss them while they're in dog form. Only problem is that when Hana kissed the first guy she meets on the streets while drunk, it happens to be Seon Jin, who is also Mr. Jin because they are co-workers, and he is deathly terrified of dogs. So that is very awkward. Again, this touches on certain subjects such as bullying, so that's just fair warning. It just more relates to people, so I guess that's what makes it more readable because you can actually feel a connection to the characters, especially in this story. I guess you can say Hana, who is afraid to get close to men because all her life she's been living with this idea, and her mom's always been like, you know, don't ever kiss a guy. So I guess you could say she's never really gotten close to any men, especially in the workplace, in a way to create a dating life. While Seon Jin, he has this background and troubles in his past that reflects on him today as a grown man, and it still kind of holds him back. Either way, I think it would make a good anime, and if people want to just check it out as well as Let's Play, it's on Webtoons. And leaving the world of Webtoons on that happy note, I'm gonna have to definitely nominate Castle Swimmer. Oh, my precious babies, my precious Kappa and Siren, y'all will make it! In this world, it's all underwater, and we have like these mercy people, and we have Kappa, who is the beacon. His sole existence is to make all these prophecies come true, and when he meets the sharks, he meets the prince Siren, who is supposedly destined to free his people of a curse by killing Kappa. Well, Siren goes in with the knowledge and knowing that he must do this, but the moment he meets Kappa, oh, the friendship that just slowly blooms into something else. I'm like, oh, my precious babies, they must be protected at all time. I cannot wait for season 2, people. It is precious on so many levels. And if this were to turn into an anime, yes! And the remaining contenders of this adaptation wish list is Night School. Now, for those of you who have seen my review, I have actually mentioned this in the City of Ghosts V.E. Schwab. It's only a 4-book manga, and it takes place in a world where there's this school that caters to supernatural teenagers. Yay! We have vampires, of course, werewolves, weirins that are a type of witches, and then we also have this outworld place where we have hunters that hunt creatures that do no-nos. Now, our main character, her name is Alex, and she has a certain curse placed on her, and her sister is a substitute teacher at the night school. Well, one day her sister goes missing and people forget about her, so the only way for Alex to go find her sister is actually go to the school and interact with people, and she hasn't really done that a lot. Now, of course, there are many mysteries and hidden secrets that fall further into this manga series that lay out the works for what's really happening in the back, which is, I kind of think, is very well crafted. I am disappointed, though, that we don't have like a book 5 or anything, but I enjoy this nevertheless, and it would make a really good manga. And last but not least, to end this adaptation wish list, it is my all-time favorite, The Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts. Now, before anyone says anything, yes, it's a manga about a young girl and a king of beasts who fall in love with each other, but it's how it starts out because our main character, her name is Sarifi, and she was at first born to be a sacrifice to give to the king of beasts. Well, the king, which she names, and they only call him in secret his name Lionheart or Leo. Well, he realizes that she has no one else to go to, and she willingly gives herself up to be the sacrifice. But at the end of the day, he wants her to become his queen. So there's lots of drama in the Beast Kingdom. And Sarifi, she is willing to do whatever it takes to become Leo's queen. And of course, there are characters that Sarifi interacts with who not only become best friends and loyal to her, but also become obstacles for, like, you know, the council that don't exactly want her to become queen. So there's a little combatant thing going on around, and Sarifi is she just wants to get along with everyone. She wants to prove that humans and beast kind can actually work together in a way, and it's just so adorable. It's so cute. And I will just have to say, I was completely psyched when I saw this at my local Barnes and Nobles, because I was only reading it online, but when I saw that it was on paper form, I was like, oh, I must have. And I finished volume 8 and I want more, so I'm trying to convince myself not to read more online, because that will just ruin everything. And that is the end of my adaptation wish list. And if y'all out there have y'all's own favorite books, mangas, manhwas, or webtoons that think they should get a proper adaptation, can y'all please comment down below, because I would like to check them out, see what y'all are thinking about that should make it to, like, you know, the silver screening. And we can only pray to see what the future holds for us for other future adaptations that have gotten the green lights are in filming productions right now. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my adaptation wish list. I hope y'all enjoyed. My name is Sarah, and bye!